Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for whatever sign is in the title because it's a bulk introduction. There will be a timestamp down below in the description so that once you've seen the introduction once, you can fast forward ahead of it. And the reason I say that is because you want to watch more than one. This is for the full moon. So you want to watch your sun sign, naturally, the I am. You want to watch the rising sign, the I am becoming. But obviously, it's the full moon. You maybe want to watch your moon sign. There may be other areas of your chart you want to look at anyway. So, it's a general reading for the sign in the title down there. Now, this is the full moon in Pisces at 10 degrees Pisces. Now, a full moon is all about opposition. Moon opposed sun. So what I like to look at in these Gods at Play readings are what gods are supporting you and lifting you up, and what gods or what god forms the archons take as they are trying to suppress you and keep you limited and in fear and in need and in want and incomplete and all of that, you know, all of the most anti-new age and probably pro-consumerism stuff that you can think of. Now, these are God cards. By their very nature, these readings are dramatic. It is symbolic. And so much fun, but it is symbolic. What I would like to look at beforehand is the actual full moon itself. I mean, it's in Pisces. It's the big spiritual full moon, which interestingly, Neptune at 20 degrees Pisces, so 10 degrees away, so not really even a full conjunction. However, 20 degrees Pisces for Neptune is the natal Neptune of A8 of the Order of the Golden Dawn. So this is a great full moon for all the other symbolisms aside, and they echo this as well. This is a great full moon for spiritual development. I mean, this is a great season for spiritual development, but especially with this full moon, magical exploration. Magical exercises to get to know further layers of yourself. Now, I could wax lyrical about the astrology of it, but chances are I could get things wrong because I'm still learning my way around astrology and will be for another 5 or 6 years yet. And down in the description, there is a link to the Facebook page for this group where I have already posted oodles of relevant videos from the YouTube astrologers about this full moon, and I will keep posting them as I find them once I've watched them myself and absorbed them all. So yeah, come and join the Facebook page. It's well worth it. Obviously, being a YouTuber, I'd like you to like, share, subscribe and comment. But I want to look at the symbols of the moon. The other thing is, with this moon, it's, now if I remember this correctly, I think it's Uranus. Uranus is trying something. I'll be able to tell you. Uranus is trying something and sextile something else. Let's just bring that information up. Bear with me. Because this is, yeah, it is sextile the moon. Oh, of course it is. 10 degrees Taurus, and trine the sun. So there's a beautiful triangle of energy there between the two luminaries and Uranus. This is a time, people call this time in history the Great Awakening. I'm not entirely sold on that idea, to be quite honest. However, certainly this full moon offers a great revealing in your personal lives, in your love life, in the workplace, in the political landscape, in your spiritual self. And certainly that is why I mentioned about AU8, 20 degrees Pisces of Neptune. You can invite that revealing in, if that is what you wish to do. Now, make your own mind up on that one. Now, the degree reading from Inside Degrees, so Chandra symbols I think they're called, I'm taking Pisces 11 because 10 degrees, let me see, it's the full moon is at 10 degrees 11 minutes I think, so basically it's in the 11th degree. So Pisces 11, a high crumbling wall. It is part of a ruin and covered with ivy. Power is stored in the earth at primal quickening points. Often in these places, humanity erects monuments to its own folly. Eventually these things merge into the landscape and everything comments upon everything else, being held between the earth's wise presence and humanity's dim apprehension of what is really involved here. One side of the feeling, nature is so intuitive and psychically astute that you are harbouring advanced gifts that can serve the earth evolution in staggering ways. On that note, a couple of astrologers have been talking about us accessing our superpowers, however you want to define that. The peace dealer being one of them, but in the more restrained side, Ksenia Moore said much the same in her recent full moon thing, again posted on my Facebook page. Right. Another side of the feeling nature is contorted with reactions, judgments and condemnations of the collective trends of humanity and of the weakness of the human flesh. One more interjection, look at the news. These objections and rejections of the human scene rebound upon the self and poison the psychic faculties. It is only when you heal and forgive and renounce the minor key irritable voice, inside and out, that the flood tide of burgeoning awareness of what is arising in this earth with all its ripples can wipe away the false structures and foster the new birth, the tuned in and blessings focused outlook and in luck. Now the Omega symbol of this is 3 undines guarding a golden treasure at the bottom of a river. That river is the river of change. The undines are the water nymphs, or well, water spirits. Golden treasure to be unearthed in the flow of change. But going back to that Chandra symbol, it reminds me of a thing in the Course of Miracles. With all of the division and what either side of the fence you fall on, with everything that's going on in America, in Mauritius, in Poland, in so many places across the world. Whatever side of the fence that you fall on, when you are tempted to judge and condemn the others, it's A Course of Miracles would say it's okay, because everybody is playing the lesson, everybody is playing the role that they agreed to play before coming here. Everybody is learning the lessons that they, well, hopefully, or is being confronted with the lessons, let's put it that way, that they agreed to before they came here. So if you despair at the evil Trump voters or the lunatic libtards, whichever, then let that go. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing what's right for them. And it's only with that acceptance can the true revelation bubble up to the surface, I suppose. Can that golden treasure rise out of the river. So I think I've waffled enough hippie hoo-ha so far. So let me bring up the cards. Just before I bring the cards up, there's one thing that I neglected to mention, is that this whole full moon is occurring with the backdrop of Mars square Saturn. And that shows that wanting to drive forward energy, but having our limitations being pointed out to us. Now, a few minutes have passed since I filmed the last bit, and I've just spent a lot of time thinking about it. I firmly believe in all the hippie claptrap that I just came out with. But it's not okay to shoot people. It is okay to fight back against those things that you find abhorrent. It is okay to demonstrate. It is... So, whereas I'm saying, oh, achieve this Zen-like state of non-judgmentalism, at no point does that say stop fighting for a better world. It's just, I do believe what I said, but I find it hard to put it into the real world sometimes, because in the current climate it sounds facile. And it's something I've been struggling with the entire time of this channel. Because, as I have mentioned, I'm a political animal. I keep abreast of politics a lot, and I have opinions, and I can't help but have opinions. And under that Course of Miracles philosophy, me having opinions is okay, and other people having opinions is okay. But I have to draw the line at shooting people. But I think, I only hope that this Mars square Saturn works to the betterment of society, where that driving forward force on the side that I would find morally questionable is restrained, held back, thwarted, forced to reconsider, which is all what this Mars square Saturn, Mars retrograde square Saturn, then Mars square Saturn again, is supposed to be about. As I say, the astrologers can talk about it far better than me. Go and have a look on my Facebook page for the channel to see their videos. And don't forget, there is also an inbox where you can contact me directly if you are looking for a personal reading. And this time I really, really will bring the cards up, I promise. Okay, Aries, and welcome Aries Rising and Aries Moon if you've just joined us after the timestamp. Now this time, with it being such a special full moon, I thought for once I would start with the uplifting gods. So, for your pleasure, to start off with, we have Eros with love, Kronos, i.e. Saturn, representing cycles, Hera with commitment, Ran with abuse, strangely, and Sekhmet with empowerment, and Eos, goddess of the dawn. So what this is telling me is that there's a fine line to tread this time. Now, this full moon, if you are Aries rising, this is happening in your 12th house, your house of depth, of secrets, of that which is overwhelming. And there really is, I feel like there will be an opportunity for you to vent. This is what Hera with commitment and Ixchel with release is telling me. Now, Ixchel is one of the gods or god forms of the archons that are trying to press you down. We have Nuada with perfection, Demeter with harvest, Ixchel, as I said, with release, Nyx with respite, and Zeus with supremacy. Now, in a way, I think Zeus with supremacy speaks for itself. There is an overwhelming system that you are rebelling against, but a new day is dawning. That's a lovely column. You know, that you are changing the status quo. But this Ixchel release and Hera with commitment. This has to be a time, especially if it's in your 12th house, where you want to think, what precisely are my commitments to? Hera was far from perfect. Hera could be a little blind to the source of her jealousies. She would frequently blame Zeus's lovers, mainly for existing, and for Zeus's infidelities, rather than Zeus himself, who was surely the guilty party. But she remained in that marriage and she stayed true to the promises that she had made. However, she also threw her firstborn off the side of Mount Olympus because he didn't quite meet up to scratch. Now, with Hera being coupled here with Ixchel, I think there's an element of that loyalty that you have to consider, and certainly loyalty to yourself. Things are changing. This is what Kronos is saying here, with coupled with Eos at the end. A new day is dawning. A new day is dawning for the right reasons, with Eros starting it all. However, be careful what you vent, what you release. You have to remain true to all of your commitments, to your heart, to your spirit, to your families or loved ones or what have you. You have to remain true to all of them, because over-release of emotion or over-venting, that way lies a trap. That way lies something that, although it may silence a situation, that is simply all it does. Silence it, and it doesn't necessarily solve it. It's sent back to rest. It's sent to rest in the darkness. Because the message that Ran has, looking at the book, one of her messages is pay more compliments. Be nicer to those that are around you. Because it also hints at the loss of loss of a loved one, as in relationship wise, not as in, you know, the a death wise. But that in and of itself, bringing things to light in a positive fashion, venting in a positive fashion, venting by bringing things into the light. You see Sekhmet here, she is crowned by the sun. You can't even see her head. So Sekhmet is offering these compliments that Ran suggests as a way of providing growth for those around them. And this enables you to vent because, look at that. That is done fantastically. And do you know why it's done fantastically? Because when it's not, it's this, this and this, and I detest that. But this is fantastic. So yeah, you're still getting your venting in, you're still getting your into the situation, but you're bigging up those that are around you rather than knocking them down in your own fury. Demeter as well, I've always felt that she's quite, I don't know the right word to say to it, because people say, oh, what a wonderful mother she was for going into mourning at losing her daughter for 6 months a year and giving us winter. Hello, she's the goddess of the harvest. She's the goddess of the fields and the wheat and the grain. How is that? She has more than just Persephone. She has the whole planet to look after. So, certainly on this top row, a little bit self-obsessed, little bit unaware of greater responsibilities, which again is echoed with Hera and commitment here of knowing what your responsibilities are. There is an element where the perfect is the enemy. And the minute I turned over Nuado with his perfection there, I suddenly thought, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Because if the only alternative is the bad, the good is better, and the perfect, if the perfect isn't there. And from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, we have Vehuel with grandeur, and Krukel of the Goetic spirits with ego and hate. And again, I think the ego and hate speaks for itself in nowadays society. But we're saying that this could be on a personal level as well. So there is a trap with ego and hate going on there. But that grandeur, it's almost like the whole thing feels to me like you are given an option, a platform, a speaker where you can literally unleash what you think, but it will come back and bite you in the backside. Because here, it's a trap. Whatever this top row offers, it's a trap. That's the whole point of this top row. So, with it being such a phenomenal new moon, I drew the Fantastical Creatures Tarot, just to clarify all these cards. So let's see. Okay, they wanted to jump out, so it looks like there's enough there for... that makes a bit of sense with Demeter, the harvest aspect. So like I said, there's the risking of being a little bit self-obsessed and neglecting of responsibilities if you fall into that trap. But also there's an anxiety there that will drive you. It's almost like, now I've been given this platform or this moment, I must say how I feel. And it's, yeah, say how you feel. You're right. Nicely. Say it nicely, because that way you will get people on your side. Because, yeah, you are not aware of the effect of what this release can have. I mean, look at this. 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords. And the Emperor clarifying Zeus with his supremacy. So it really is that sense of pushing against the state, or pushing against divine law, or pushing against somebody whose attitude is so very implacable. But you are coming into your own power. In fact, look at these bottom cards. Eros with love, clarified by the 3 of Cups. Friends are around you and friends will support you. Because the time is coming round for your own dream. Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords here as well. Clarity. Clarity being gained by providing illumination, saying what you need to, but saying it in that nice way. You are coming into your own power. But it has to be... You have to act. 4 of Swords here with Hera. But this is a wonderful 4 of Swords where it looks like flowers are giving birth to lambs. I'll show you, see if you can see what I mean. They really do look like they're coming out of the flowers. So there's a point within yourself where, yeah, you have to be true to you. You have to be true to you. But there's others you need to be true to here as well. And if you're not, that's where the trap is. Fine line for you to walk, Aries. Good luck. Okay, so if this means anything to you, comment down below. As I probably said in my 2 intro bits, like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned. Your monthlies will be out sometime soon.